Okay, so now let's head into the mid of Argo's Sacred Flame. Now the mid right here of this fragrance, although the notes are completely different, in my opinion, these are continuity notes really from the first initial set of notes. Meaning it's kind of like the same composition where you have like a darker, spicier base and then you have some uplifting balancers just like the intro. And right here in the mid, guys, you have cinnamon bark, which is your spicy cinnamon but with a dark woods component. That, in my opinion, that's kind of like the replacement in the mid of the pepper tree. All right, so from pepper tree, you went to cinnamon bark. And the difference, of course, is huge because pepper tree is like black pepper, whereas cinnamon bark does have a kind of like sweet, spicy balance, although dark and woody as well. But that's what you get right here in the mid. And the middle portion, which replaces basically ginger, will be your rose and patch. All right, and these two are, as you guys know, this is a combination that's always there, dark rose and patch. And finally, at the top of it all, you do have your florals like violet and jasmine. Same effect as like the oranges as well as the peach. There are sweeteners to this whole mix. And then finally, you have orris that does provide some sort of powderiness here in the mid of this scent. And I would even argue that the first part had some sort of powdery sugariness that is continued by the orris here in the mid, guys. So again, in the mid, that composition is the same. You have a dark cinnamon bark, kind of like the embers to a flame. You have your middle portion, rose and patchouli, sensual rose and patchouli. And then at the top, you have powdery floral balancers that really kind of replicate that same effect from the beginning. I mean, I can't really stop saying that this is such a genius creation because, like I said, I mean, they really created a flame in a perfume, all right? Something that I really think is pretty damn cool. Okay, so now let's talk about the dry down of Argo's Sacred Flame right here. And this dry down starts at the 6-hour mark. And I will say this, that this dry down to me focused more on comfort, coziness, and comfort. Because I felt like, you know, the opening of this fragrance was, it was impactful. It was masculine. You had a huge dose of pepper, black pepper tree right in the beginning of this fragrance. Although you had these nice sugary sweet balancers, orangey, but still, guys, you know, you can't really discount that strong oomph from the pepper. And even in the mid was kind of like, okay, it bridged towards like sensual, romantic, but it still had the embers to the fire. It still had that cinnamon bark with its warm spiciness and dark woodiness, okay? And of course, here in this dry down, it's much more on the comfort stage. And you have right here cashmere musks, you have amber, you have vanilla, you have sandalwood, you have a little bit of myrrh. But again, you know, put together, it felt really cozy and comfortable. I mean, really, things had settled down on this dry down. You'll feel that cashmere comfort with that sweet amber, sweet vanilla here in this dry down. I like the myrrh though. I like that they added myrrh because it's kind of like a masculine balancer. I feel like a lot of fall winter fragrances have the same old amber vanilla dry down. And to be honest, that gets boring. So I really like that Argos added myrrh here to kind of make it a modifier. Things that will kind of make it more masculine than just your classic amber vanilla dry down. So again, it's more on coziness and comfort on the dry down. Okay, so with all that being said, what do I think, or how do I feel about this fragrance right here, Sacred Flame? I mean, when I looked at kind of like what other people said about this fragrance when it was kind of hot here in LA, I was quite surprised that a lot of people were saying, oh my gosh, like this is the best Argos I've ever smelled. This is the best fragrance I've ever smelled. And I wasn't so sure if these guys were like paid guys or they're just there maybe to hype things up, or they want Argos to put them in the good list of reviewers. I don't know. But to me, I really feel like this is a true niche scent in every sense of the word.